There is a lie we are all taught when we are young. Not loudly, not all at once. It's a quiet lie, whispered by society, by our neighbors, and eventually by our own ego. The lie is this: that a successful life is a perfect life. We grow up believing that if the house is spotless, if the career moves in a straight line upward, if our children behave well in public, then we've done something right. We think perfection is the goal, but I'm here to tell you something I learned far too late. Perfection is not a trophy. Perfection is a cage, and I spent 50 years building that cage very carefully, and then locking myself inside it. If you're tired of holding everything together, if you feel exhausted from maintaining an image, if you're constantly fixing, polishing, controlling for people who don't really know you, please, listen to me. I don't want you to carry the same regrets in life that I do. I am 79 years old. I'm not saying that to impress you. At this age, there's nothing left to prove. I'm not a guru. I didn't build an empire. I don't have answers wrapped in wisdom. I'm just a man who spent most of his life trying to do everything right. When you reach this age, the world grows quieter. People stop watching. The noise fades. And in that silence, you start to see clearly. You stop asking what looks good. You start asking what it cost you. I look at younger people now, busy, tense, holding everything together, and I don't judge them. I recognize them, because that was me. For 40 years, I was the man who seemed to have it all. At least that's how it looked from the outside. I was obsessed with the standard, not happiness, not peace. The standard. I wanted to be the director, not just the manager. I wanted the lawn that made the neighbors slow down when they passed. I wanted the car that quietly said, I mattered. I treated my life like a project to manage, not a gift to enjoy. My days were scheduled. My goals were measured. Everything had a place. My weekends weren't for rest. They were for maintenance. Saturdays were spent washing the driveway, trimming edges, fixing things that weren't broken. Sundays were spent worrying about the week ahead, replaying conversations, planning improvements. My home wasn't a place to relax. It was a museum. Don't touch that. Put that back. Be careful. What will people think? I told myself I was being responsible, a good provider, a good father. I believed I was teaching discipline, teaching standards, teaching my family how to do things properly. I didn't realize I was teaching them something else entirely, that appearances mattered more than presence, and that things were more important than people. I want to tell you about the moment I broke my own happiness. It's a small memory, but it weighs tons in my heart. It was my son's 10th birthday. We had a party at the house. Friends, balloons, laughter. That same week, I had bought a new Italian sofa. Cream-colored, expensive, perfect. To me, it was proof that I had made it. The children were running through the living room, loud and joyful. My son was laughing, holding a glass of red fruit punch. He tripped. It happened slowly. The glass tipped. Red liquid spread across that flawless cream leather. The room went silent. I didn't ask if he was hurt. I didn't laugh. I didn't pause. I exploded. I yelled at him in front of his friends, called him clumsy, careless. I watched his smile disappear. The party ended early. He went to his room. That night I scrubbed the sofa for hours. The stain came out easily. The one on our relationship never did. That was 30 years ago. Today I'm sitting on that same sofa. The color has faded slightly. The leather is softer now, worn by time, but it's been carefully kept, barely used. My son rarely visits. When he does, he's polite, distant. He doesn't sit back. He perches on the edge of the chair like a guest in a house that isn't his. He's still careful, still afraid of making a mess. I look at this furniture, how well it has aged, and I feel ashamed. Here is the truth that hurts to say out loud. I chose the perfection of my possessions over the heart of my child. I traded a few moments of messy joy for a lifetime of clean silence. And this silence is one of my deepest regrets in life. We're taught to believe that our worth is measured by how put together we appear, that if the body is disciplined, the house is flawless, the resume impressive enough, then one day we'll finally relax. We tell ourselves, I'll enjoy life when the renovation is done, when the kids are grown, when I reach that position. But at 79, you understand something clearly. Life is never finished. There's always another repair, another flaw in the mirror, another reason to wait. And here's the truth no one likes to say out loud. No one reads your resume at your funeral. No one stands by your grave and says, he kept a very clean house, or she never looked tired. They talk about how you made them feel, your laugh, your patience, the time you sat on the floor with them. Your professional achievements, your social status, and the soul's economy, they have no weight. I've started doing things differently now, though I wish I'd started 40 years ago. Yesterday I went to the park and bought a coffee. My hand shook a little. Age does that to you, and I spilled it down the front of my shirt. A dark brown stain right in the middle. The old me would have panicked. Embarrassed, angry at myself. I would have gone straight home and let it ruin the day. But yesterday I didn't. I looked at the stain. Then I looked at the sunlight moving through the trees. And I stayed. I sat there for 2 hours watching dogs run, listening to leaves move in the wind. A stranger sat beside me. We talked about the weather. He didn't care about my shirt. I didn't either. It was a small moment, but it felt like freedom. I no longer fix every chip in the paint. I no longer apologize for clutter. I've learned this: a mess usually means life is happening. A pristine house is a museum. A messy house is a workshop for living. I look back at the man I was in my 40s and 50s. Part of me wants to hug him. Another part wants to shake him. He was so heavy, carrying the weight of judgment on his shoulders. Always rushing, always fixing, always worried about how things looked. He thought he was building a legacy, but he wasn't. He was building walls. Now at 79, my world is smaller, my body is slower, weaker, but my spirit, it's lighter than it's ever been. I've learned that the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. And this is what took me a lifetime to understand. Regrets in life don't come from the mistakes you made. They come from the joy you denied yourself because you were too busy trying to be perfect. So let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Look around your life right now. Are you building a home, or are you curating a museum? Are you holding back a laugh because it's too loud, stopping your children from playing because it's too messy? Are you waiting to be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy? Who are you really trying to impress? And when you imagine the end, when your body is tired and your hands are weak, ask yourself this: will those people be there to hold your hand when you take your last breath? You still have time. That's the difference between you and me. You can choose right now to loosen your grip. You can leave the dishes in the sink tonight and go sit on the floor with your kids. You can wear the wrinkled shirt and still show up to see the people you love. You can choose to be flawed, to be messy, to be real. Perfection is for statues. Life is for the living. Don't wait until you're 79 to realize that the scratches on the table were never damage. They were proof that you were here. The choice is yours. I've already made mine. I just hope you don't make it as late as I did. If this story stayed with you longer than you expected, you might belong here. This channel is a place for quiet stories shared by people who've lived long enough to be honest, for those who don't want to realize things too late. If you'd like to hear more reflections like this, you're welcome to subscribe. And if something in this story reminded you of your own life, leave a comment. I read everyone. Thank you for listening.